Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 75 of the Daily BLP. I am your host, as usual, Brian Collins, and with me from the chair of control is Matt Dugan. How you doing, Matt?
Doing good, brother. Glad to be here. Happy Monday. Hope you had a great weekend.
Yeah, it was a good weekend. How about you?
Yeah, it was good. Finally, pretty much feeling just about all settled. Got our Wi-Fi now,
I
so
was
I'm
gonna say you look
officially.
pretty clear, and you look like you're using your own internet now.
Yep. So I got Wi-Fi squared away. Got pretty really feel like I'm fully settled in here. So it was good. It was fun.
Nice. That's a good feeling. That is a
Yep.
good feeling. Yeah, it was a busy weekend. Is my first ever homecoming as a dad. To go through that was
Nice.
kind of cool to see the stages of. If you guys have been watching the show, you know Declan by now, and him going from like, yeah, I guess I'll do it, to as it gets closer, more and more nervous, like wondering if he's going to actually have to dance with a girl or something like that. Um, but it turned out good, so he had a good time,
Nice.
um, and that all worked out. But it was a good weekend. Yours pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good. Just kind of went around the city a little bit. Just kind of kept trying to explore and find what's here. Been eating some good food, find some cool places, really cool area just around where I live. So yeah, just been exploring, doing kind of finishing the unpacking, just getting settled. So nothing too crazy, but it was good, enjoyable, and feeling like I'm settled.
Cool. Digging the Denver
Yep.
vibe then.
Yep. 100%. 100%. It's
Nice.
a good one.
Very cool. So, well, what do we got? What's going on today? What do we got in store for the viewers
Yeah.
today?
Yeah. So first things first is the government is still shut down right now. So it's going into 13 days with 900K federal employees kind of not really doing much right now. So just want to kind of catch up with you and what's new and shaken with that and what's going on there maybe a little bit.
I don't know. I guess every day that this is going on, there's more and more, monetary economic impact, something
Yep.
like around the tune of 15 billion a week. So I guess that's no amount of chump change there. Um, a big thing over the weekend that I was hearing, and this might have even been Friday too, because we didn't do the show on Friday, was, um, you know, uh, President Trump and his administration finding a way to get the government, no, sorry, to get the military paid.
Okay.
Um, I guess that's kind of a big deal, especially when you're deployed and you're on active duty. And I guess their opponents in this whole, debacle of a government shutdown thing were kind of upset that they're going to they'll find money somewhere else to use to pay them, because I guess that's kind of the leveraging bargaining chip, right?
Yep. Definitely. 100%. That's
So that's a thing. There's still the controversy about retro pay for some folks that have been working the whole time, like folks, in airport security and all those guys. I think they'll get their retro pay. The people who have been furloughed, who have not necessarily been working, those folks that where the government says you're not even, you can't even smile at the computer that has your email on it.
right.
You know what I mean? Like, don't even
Yeah.
think about it, or we'll know, and you're
Yeah.
in trouble. Those guys, I don't know. Maybe they don't get retro paid. What do you think about that? Do you think they should? Do you think they shouldn't?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think with the military. I mean, I think if you're deployed and risking your life, I mean, I think they deserve to get paid. I'm not super educated on all that's really going on, so I might not be the best person to give an opinion here. But I
Yeah.
think if you're risking your life and those are the people that are protecting us, I think that they at least
You
out of
get-
anyone deserve to get paid. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And opinions are what they are, right? Like, whether we deserve to give an opinion or not, we're still humans and we have thoughts on it.
Hmm.
And my basic thought is, if you can still have a job, and if you're furloughed or laid off or something like that, a lot of people have, I think my brother-in-law goes through this a lot of time in the construction industry. Certain seasons there's not a lot of work, you get laid off, and then they have, they'll pay them reduced pay for that time, but he's not making full pay from the company, you know what I mean, for that time that he's laid off, just to so that he will stay on their roll. So they could have a job
Right.
pop up anytime,
Yep.
and they still need people ready to work, so they're willing to pay them to do that. Maybe there needs to be maybe a minimized amount, or I think I've talked about this before. It's like, hey, create a fund. This is going to
Yeah.
happen every couple of years. Have a backup fund of money that can pay people to keep them from going off and getting another job.
Yep. 100%. 100%.
But anyway, that's that. It is what it is. I know that There's been some other political things going on. The whole Israel war sounds like it's finally coming to an end. That's a good thing. And, I think it's a weird situation that we're in. It's always like this with politics, right? Like people pick their sides, and if the other side does a good thing, they're not always supportive of that good thing, right?
Right.
Because they don't want to support anything the other side's doing. But at the same time, I'm like, how can you not get behind something that, or like literally, hopefully, those people are done dying over there. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yep. Agreed.
So, another thing, CDC firings partially reversed. So apparently, a lot of the people at the CDC were going to get fired, but about 600 people remain terminated.
Okay.
I mean, it sounds like they've used this an opportunity to figure out what jobs are actually needed in some of these large agencies and which ones aren't.
Yep.
Smithsonian Museum's National Zoo closed due to lack of funding. Hopefully, they don't shut off the power and the locks just open up and it's like the animals running amok.
Yeah.
I'm sure they have
exactly
for that, but let's see. Biggest standoff we got here: dispute over the ACA health subsidy extensions, and that's stuff. American Care Act, I think that's what it is, or something, right? Like that stuff's not even due until like late next month in November. So I think
Right.
it's a moot point. If they get back to work, they can figure it out, but they're not figuring anything out by doing this. So
right. 100%.
another day, just some more gridlock. I think the longer it draws on, the worst. I think the side that wants to get the government back open starts to look better, and the one that's like working hard to not getting it back open is the one that starts to get dragged through the mud a little bit.
Definitely. No, 100% agree. Yeah, it's something that we'll be on the watch out for. A lot of changes and everything that's kind of coming up there, and so we'll keep an eye on it. But one thing as well that's kind of related a little bit, but more so within the business world is the the 100% China tariff. So that goes into effect November 1st, I believe. So we've got all that going on. Meanwhile, with the government shutdown. So what do you think in relation to the shutdown? What do you think is going to happen? Like what's really going on there?
Yeah, I saw some. I don't know where the sources were. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I saw some things earlier this morning that it was sounding like Trump is kind of backing up his statements on this a little bit and saying and kind of thinking he might either extend that or minimize it a little bit. I don't know. We'll see if that happens. That's kind of what's happened so far. Is every time you get really close, maybe he lets it go for a couple days and then he pulls it back. But I have heard there's been quite a bit of income into our country from tariffs so far this year, to the tune of there was some headline I saw last week talking about possibly even like either tax breaks or additional reimbursements on tax reimbursements at the end of the year or during tax season next year. So that'd be something that the government pulls in so much money in tariffs that it can pay, give some people back some money.
Yep, 100%. That'll be interesting. Yeah. Yep.
But, it's like, I think tariffs have been going on. Certain things, prices have gone up that don't usually go up. Some things they haven't. Some things have gone down. Like I've noticed gas is coming down. And that's, I think, put gas in your car, that price is going down because we've made it more available to produce here. I think kind of that started going again. I think energy costs have kind of gone down as they were really starting to go up before because we were really limiting how much energy we could produce domestically. I don't think eggs and that kind of stuff have gone up any more than they have. They've come way down from what they were like a year or so ago. Groceries are still way too expensive. I mean, they have not come back to where they were pre-COVID, and I don't know that they ever will, because so much money was jettisoned into the economy it was just printed and given to everybody as the COVID relief fund stuff. And as much as that might have made people in the moment feel like they had some security, what it's doing to everybody now is you feel it in your pocketbook, because your $100, your $200, your $300, your $400 doesn't go nearly as far as it did 4 years ago.
Yep.
Not even close.
100%.
Like you can't stop at the store and even grab a couple things without dropping $50. You know what I mean?
Yep, easily. Yeah, 100%.
So,
that's how it is.
It's normal. I've got my wife and I and a family of 4, a weekly grocery bill pushes $400 now. and we're not
Yeah.
eating, we're not eating lobster and crab and T-bone steaks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
we don't starve
Definitely.
for sure, but um,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I think everybody blames their price hikes on tariffs. You know what I mean? But if I wanted to raise the prices of our business and I put in the notice to all of our clients, hey, tariffs are causing us to raise our prices, they'd laugh me straight out of a contract. You know what I mean? It's just like
Yeah.
the
Yep.
bigger the company, the quicker they can say, oh, because of tariffs or whatever, right?
Yep.
And
Yeah.
it
Exactly.
only goes so far. So, but I mean,
No.
it is what it
Yeah.
is. What else we got here? Markets are volatile.
Yep.
I think I heard that because it was this morning too, based on the whole tariff conversation, that Trump might not, go forward with that full 100% on China. He might roll it back some or push it back. Again, all that speculative energy, people just like, oh, he's not going to do it. Let's all buy stock and trade now. And no, let's hold. And
Yeah.
it's like, you guys just get your ass to work. Excuse my French.
Yeah.
Um,
Exactly. Exactly.
so- what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think yeah, it'll be interesting to see it. Another thing that I'm not too vested in because in our business we don't really ship anything in or use anything of that nature. But yeah, I mean I think it's definitely, my opinion is I just don't think it's good in general because it gives, like, kind of to your point, gives those corporations an excuse to raise their prices, even if, say, they get a deal or they figure out their stuff, or say this doesn't even really happen. I think it gives too much opportunity for the corporations that arguably have a monopoly in their space to raise their prices, and that's where I'm like, I'm more concerned, kind of to your point, of just the American family, the average American family. That's what I'm worried about, is I don't want our people to just be getting hit with price increase. So, at the end of the day, that's really my opinion on it. Like I said, not super, invested or educated into this, but I just hate to see, Americans, their pockets get hit. That's the last thing, I really want.
Yeah, and because we're both those guys, right? Our
Yeah.
pockets are hit, and other people that we don't know that might struggle more than us, their pockets are hit. But
Yep.
on the same token, it like all this doesn't exist in a vacuum, right?
Yep.
The whole reason behind it is, all right, we as a country, when it comes to trade, we've been getting kind of the short end of the trade stick anyway, right?
Yeah.
We produce a lot of things. We used to produce a lot more,
Mhm.
right? But when we send our things, our quality goods and services overseas, mostly goods, services generally aren't taxed or tariff yet, but that could be something that starts to happen. When we send a car to India and they put a 50% tariff on it, guess what happens to those cars in India? They don't
Yeah.
sell,
Yeah.
right? But when India sends textiles or services or those kind of things here, and we got no tariff on it, those things sell, right?
Yep.
And they're paid much less for the same things we paid for here. And so, like, sure, we get a good deal on that, but on the other side, we don't get, because not as many, less and less of the things that we used to make here, and those jobs and those kind of things that you need long term, they start to go away, and then you start to be in a position where you don't really do anything except for desk work, which is
Yep.
close to what we are here now. Then what happens when you need the things that everybody else builds, right?
Exactly.
They've got all the
Exactly.
leverage.
Yeah.
It's a weird place.
100%.
I think, like with anything, in order to right the ship, there is pain at the beginning, right? It's like when you really let yourself go physically, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Like you're a young dude, but let's say you get 45, and from 35 to 45, you're raising a few kids, and you have time to go to the gym, you have time to go exercise, go snowboarding. All of a sudden, you got a little beer gut going on,
Yep.
and some love handles, and you don't like them anymore, and you want to get rid of them. The hardest part is that initial change,
Yep.
and the soreness and the uncomfortable, and getting up early or whenever you got to do it,
Yep.
until you get in the habit to do it, and then it's not so bad anymore.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's like that here too. And it's like, it's been going on for so long, 100 years plus. These kind of the way that trade is, in order to have this global economy, the U.S. economy is so big. It's just been willing to say, hey, we'll just, take it from everybody. And, you know, whether it's providing things like military assistance or shipping things over there, you guys do what you want. And then, you know, we have to do whatever you say with your goods, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yep. Exactly.
and at some point you got to say, hey, this isn't really benefiting us anymore. Let's be fair. I think because what they're trying to say is, I think again, I'm not in President Trump's mind or any of those other guys' mind, but my common sense says, okay, it's been unfair for a long time. Let's try to make it fair.
Yeah.
And there wouldn't be 100% tariff on China or 50% tariff on India or any of these other places if the other side was willing to go, let's go fair.
Yeah.
Or let's get it close to fair. They don't want to do that because then they have to get uncomfortable on their own, you know. So they're like, well, if they do this, we'll make them uncomfortable by raising the price. Okay, we just might decide to buy less of those things from there.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
at some
100%.
point, whatever China is selling us will get built in another country that's willing to be fair.
Yep.
It might be uncomfortable for us for those months or a year or so it takes for those things to change.
Yeah.
It's easier said than done for others. I realize that, but
Definitely.
tis what it is.
Definitely. Yeah, it is what it is. And no, it's interesting. And it'll be good to keep an eye on it. Just, you know, especially small businesses, you know, see who's affected, just everyday Americans. It'll be really interesting to keep a pulse on that. But kind of switching gears into, you know, some more of the positive light that's been going on, or depending who your team is, could be not so positive. We've got some really, you know, some good updates here. You know, we had Sunday NFL on yesterday. We got Monday NFL on tonight. We've got playoff baseball going on. I know there's even NBA preseasons heating up now too. So what do you got your pulse on right now in the sports world, Brian?
Well, your Carolina Panthers defeated my Dallas Cowboys yesterday.
Yes. It was needed for the morale for the Panthers, though.
Yeah, they're, you know, that's 3 wins for them, right? They're 3-4 now. Is that right?
Yeah, I believe so.
They're a game out of 500. You know, that's not bad.
Yep.
And you kind of
100%.
said at the beginning of the season, you thought it was going to take them a while for them to get their footing.
Yep. Yeah.
Now, Dallas didn't do them any favors. Their defense is terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, they made what's his face? The running back that used to play for Dallas.
I'm blanking on it. I think I know who you're talking about though, but I always blank.
They made their running back look like an all-star. Maybe he was really good.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was bad. His name's going to come to me like at the end of the show or
yeah, right.
I'm going to wake
That's
up.
how it usually goes.
But kudos to Carolina for pulling out that win. Everybody's happy around here. Packers beat the Bengals.
Yep.
Other surprises that I didn't realize was going on is the Patriots are starting to have a good season.
Yeah, Patriots are doing good. Jaguars too are looking pretty good. Same with the Colts. I was just talking with people. I mean, I feel like it's really anybody's season this season, you know?
Yeah, Titans head coach got fired. It's so crazy ever since, you know, a few years back, Fisher retired. Did he retire? Yeah, I think he retired finally. He was with them for like 25, 30 years. They've been struggling, you know, but so Brian Callahan is out. I'm not sure, did they announce a replacement or is it just they're gonna bring up one of the coordinators?
I'd assume they're probably gonna have an interim coach. I don't think I saw any headlines saying, you know, who the new coach is. I think they'll probably have, you know, one of the coordinators, you know, come in as interim. If they do good, they'll probably keep going. And then if not, you know, they'll probably, my guess is how it usually goes is they really try to lock someone in for the following season. Cause any coach you really want is probably coaching right now another team. So that's usually, it's like probably an interim coach for the rest of the season. If he does really well, they might keep him, but I'm guessing they're probably already tripping in some, you know, high level, college coaches, and then probably some offensive, defensive coordinators from some NFL teams.
Yep. Chiefs bounced back from their loss to the Jaguars last week and beat the Lions. That's surprising. Lions are really hot and cold right now.
Yeah, can't tell what's up with them. They're an interesting team this year. They'll be interesting to see. Yeah.
We'll see. Is there 2 games tonight? I think I heard there was 2 games tonight.
Yeah, two Monday night games. Let me look it up what they are. I think I knew it was the Bills and the Falcons, and then Bears and the Commanders. So 2 really good games.
I'm going. Bills, Redskins. I mean, Commanders.
Yeah. No, I'm there with you. I think the Bears will put up a good fight, but yeah, Washington's just a solid team this year, especially with Jaden Daniels. So I'm with you. I'm with you on that exactly.
Yep. Cool, cool. Well, let's swing around to MLB playoffs. Big weekend for my crew. They pulled it off. They didn't choke. It was a close game. Did you watch the game?
I did not know. I was mainly all football yesterday, unfortunately. I didn't get super into the playoffs yesterday. Have usually during the week been into it, but Sunday I'm usually pretty locked in on the football.
I picked it up in like the fourth inning because we were gone and we got home. It was Saturday. I picked it up about the fourth inning, and then watched. It was a nail biter. It was 1-1 when I came in, and the only two scores were two more home runs. All three runs the Brewers scored in their win against the Cubs on Saturday to advance were home runs, which is usually not their MO,
Right. Yep.
So that was cool. Super exciting there. A bunch of my friends were all over Facebook and stuff celebrating and
Yep.
everybody's high-fiving at church and stuff. People you get pretty fired up. I mean, you know how it is. I mean, you get heartbreak when, and you have good teams and then you don't make it out of the first round, but they still got a long way to go. They got a tough out, the Dodgers.
Yep, they do.
Not something where you can just say, oh yeah, they're going to steamroll the Dodgers. I mean, they're a great team.
Yep. Well, we're getting closer and closer to what we said. I thought was Mariners and Brewers World Series, and I mean we're closer. It's 4 teams now, so that could really be it. And I mean Mariners are already leading. Yep. Exactly.
They look pretty tough. They I mean, again, it was only like a 3-1 win, but they basically shut down the Blue Jays, who are a pretty high-powered offense.
Yeah, exactly.
Night. So I'm going to be watching the game tonight. The Brewer game I think starts at like 7:08. I think that's Central. It could be Eastern, but I think it's Central. It is in Milwaukee at what was formerly known as Miller Park. Now it's American Family Field, which always sounds weird to say. Yeah. But I think, man, if they can do what they did, hold home field, pull out a win, at least a win in LA, that'd be huge. It's a 7-game series, so we'll see. A lot more back and forth involved here, but it's a weird game. It's such a weird game. Like
it really is.
You can just be on fire and look unstoppable, and the next day just lay a turd.
Yep. Right, it is. And I mean, one pitcher just does bad. It's crazy. It can be, some of these games can be 1-run games the whole game, and then some other games you just have bad pitching and really good hitting, and you can get up to nine runs. So baseball. That's what's so amazing about baseball is there's so many different things that can just happen throughout the whole game to the teams, anything. Especially in playoff baseball now, with baseball you have to go through so many different levels and all this different stuff to get to this point, wild card, then ALDS, you got to have a good regular season. And so that's why baseball, when you get to this point, all these teams are just so good and, similar and in skill level. I think that's what makes it really interesting.
Yeah. It didn't pull across on the outline, but also I almost forgot to mention Saturday. Not sure why it didn't pull across. I think I asked it to. Saturday was the Banana Ball Championship Series championship game.
Nice.
Between the Party Animals and the Firefighters. Firefighters are everyone's favorite team. Party Animals pulled it out. They won. I think they won like 4-0. So that ends this year's Banana Ball season. But on Thursday, a couple days prior to that, they had the big announcement. They released the schedule for 2026, talked about how you can get tickets for games, and revealed 2 new teams.
Yeah.
So it's going to be they're starting the first time they're actually doing a full season of a league. It's called Banana Ball Championship League, BBCL or something like that. But so they were two new teams. One of them is the Loco Beach Coconuts.
Okay, I like that.
The logos tomorrow. The Loco Beach Coconuts, and it's got this whole Hawaiian beach vibe and stuff. And then it's kind of cool. I can't remember. So they announced who their coach was going to be, and then who they have like special coaches that are formal MLB guys, I can't remember who it was. I got to remember. I remember who the other team. So the other team is the Indianapolis Clowns.
Okay.
So the significance behind that is, so the old Negro League baseball league from way back in the day, a bunch of different teams. One of their teams was the Clowns. And
Okay.
it was, I could be wrong, don't quote me on it, but I think this is what they said during the presentation of the teams. It was like the first Negro League team.
Okay.
But their whole thing, like, and the Negro League was a real, like, highly skilled baseball league, right? Like, some of their best players went into the MLB and, like, took it over as far from a skill level, right? But the Clowns, they were known for, like, doing goofy things during games, being
Okay.
super entertaining and, like, having a giant glove that one guy would play with, or doing, like, weird things with the ball during games. That was one of their little shticks as far as how they would entertain people at games, which is a lot like banana ball is now, right? So they announced I can't remember who their regular coach, but their special coach is a former player from the Phillies. Is it Howard? What was his first name? Was it Ryan Howard?
Ryan Howard. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
the legendary first baseman for them. Yeah.
Yeah, Ryan Howard. So he's going to be their special coach. So he came out and kind of talked during the presentation stuff. It was really
Nice.
cool how they're getting those former MLB guys involved in these teams and, like, creating the atmosphere and stuff like that. So,
And it legitimizes it a little
yeah.
bit, you know. Yeah. So when you got those guys coming out, it's like, oh, okay, this is real baseball here. We got so
Yep.
that's what's cool about it as well.
Their hardest thing to overcome is the entertainment makes it seem like it's not real.
Yep.
Like it's not a real competition, where it is, but at the same time, like, they're doing a lot and it throws your traditional fan off.
Yeah.
Like, in the midst of an inning, if a pitcher, like, starts to do a dance to try to throw off the batter, like, I know
Right.
some of the teams, like, they'll do a pitcher change and one pitcher will come out and they'll roll out like a big beer barrel, and the pitcher will come out of the barrel, stand on the barrel, and, like, do a flip off of it and pitch and try to get a strike from the guy or something. All kinds of goofy stuff, but
Yep.
it's all fair in the game.
Yep. Exactly.
So that was cool. 6 teams. It's funny, the whole time I'm like, I'm gonna try to get us tickets, hon. So I'm sitting on the couch, got my credit card out, and I've got, I'm watching the reveal show on TV, and I got my computer on they're like, watch the schedule, so I'm watching the schedule, and it's not updating. And about 6:30 rolls around, I've got to leave and go because I was on to play guitar for church that last week. So I had to go to practice. So she finished up, and when I got back, she was like, when the show was over, they showed they had announced, and with a lot of flair, the schedules and where they're going to be. So I knew they were coming to Milwaukee with a game. They're going to be playing a series, the Party Animals and I think one of the new teams, maybe the Coconuts or something. They're playing at American Family Field in
Nice.
April or something. They're coming to Wrigley Field in June. The Bananas and the Firefighters, they're going to be in St. Louis, and then Detroit. Those are the 4, and Minneapolis. Those are 5 games that are kind of like within relative driving distance if we really wanted to hop in a car and drive. And so I was like, I really want to try to get in those games. But the only way that you can get tickets, you can't go buy them. You have to register, like, with an email and create an account.
Interesting.
And choose the game that you most want to go to.
Okay.
Right? So I really want to take Declan to see the Firefighters. They're going to be in Chicago because that's his team. And so she created me an account with my email and picked the Chicago game. And then my middle daughter, Emmy, she really likes the Party Animals. She's a goofball, so she likes the Party Animals.
Nice.
So we want to do a family thing there. So she signed up with her email there, and one email, one account can only pick one.
Okay.
And they announced the other day, within 24 hours of them releasing the schedule, they already had 2.4 million people sign up.
Yeah.
To try to get tickets to a game, and it's a lottery.
Yeah.
So they said, like, the leading venues was Detroit was actually the number 1 venue so far as people signing up, with over like 100,000 people signing up, and then they kind of went down the list of what the most popular ones are. So it's kind of like, okay, how big the venue is. They're generally there for a 2-game series. And if
Right.
they fit 40, 45, 50,000 each venue, they're going to be at some college stadiums. Like, they're going to be at Tennessee, and Tennessee holds 101,000. So they'll fill that up. twice. But it's totally chance whether or not you get on or not. So
Yep.
it's cool. It's like I'd throw down a little bit of money to guarantee it, but at the same time, they want to make sure that, because if you get in the lottery, it's not like they're free. Their tickets range from like $30 to $60, which is totally affordable.
Yeah.
But it's like there's no guarantee. And they came around and said, if you can go to sites like the StubHubs and the ticket, all those different ticket, SeatGeek and stuff, and you can see them advertising for 2026 stuff. But he's like, do not buy because they're not real. Nobody has tickets right now. They're speculating. They will. We're never going to put our tickets there. They're just assuming that someone who gets a ticket through the lottery is going to put theirs up for sale on their platform.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Yep.
So
be interesting to see. Yeah, Banana Ball is getting bigger and bigger, and so it'll be really cool to see as the two new teams and the new season starts here.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, we made it through today's agenda. I think a pretty good little show. Enjoyed the time, Matt. But
likewise,
I know you got to go, and it's time for me to go too. So we're gonna bid everybody a great afternoon. Thanks everybody for joining in on today's daily BLP. I'm Brian, signing out for myself and Matt. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a great evening, everybody.
Have a great one, guys. See ya.